Origin year 1940. Emergency development period. War Office requirement issued. Anti-invasion planning active. Infantry shortage noted. Armour threat assessed. Existing weapons insufficient. Production urgency declared. Design authority delegated. Department of Miscellaneous Weapons involved. Simplified manufacturing demanded. Material scarcity expected. Skilled labour unavailable. Civilian factories considered. Casting methods preferred. Machining reduction required. Explosive delivery prioritised. Penetration capability absent. Blast reliance accepted. Close contact doctrine approved. Risk evaluation deferred. User safety deprioritised. Weapon designation assigned. Number 73 allocated. Informal nickname adopted. Thermos reference unofficial. Cylindrical body selected. Sheet steel housing used. External diameter large. The length compact. Weight considerable. Grip surface smooth. Internal cavity hollow. Explosive filler viscous. Nitroglycerin compound selected. Plasticized mixture prepared. High brisance expected. Sensitivity moderate. Stability inconsistent. Temperature tolerance limited. Cold thickening observed. Heat softening recorded. Adhesive behavior intended. Contact detonation required. Surface adherence critical. Painted armor problematic. Dust contamination severe. Mud interference likely. Field conditions unsuitable. Adhesive formula adjusted. Resin additives trialed. Rubberized compounds tested. Bond strength inconsistent. Vertical surfaces unreliable. Curved armor rejection common. Impact bounce frequent. User distance minimal. Throwing technique discouraged. Placement doctrine written. Manual application trained. Instruction pamphlet issued. Illustrations simplified. Warnings minimal. Fuse system basic. Igniter percussion type. Delay absent. Immediate action required. Safety pin installed. Pin wire thin. Accidental pull risk. Retention clip weak. Transport hazard identified. Packaging improvised. Cardboard tubes used. Padding insufficient. Shock absorption poor. Drop testing limited. Factory acceptance rushed. Quality variation extreme. Explosive fill uneven. Void spaces present. Casing deformation common. Weld seams fragile. Leakage incidents logged. Odor complaints recorded. Chemical seepage observed. Storage regulations unclear. Magazine stacking prohibited. Heat separation required. Distance limits undefined. Handling training minimal. Home guard allocation planned. Regular army distribution limited. Operational doctrine unclear. The tank silhouette diagrams issued. Target zones marked. Track area suggested. Hull contact preferred. Turret access impossible. Approach distance meters. Cover usage unspecified. Smoke support assumed. Reality unsupported. Exercise trials conducted. Mock armor plates used. Adhesion inconsistent recorded. Successful stick rare. Gravity failure frequent. Blast radius calculated. Fragmentation minimal. Overpressure localized. Kill probability low. Mobility damage possible. Track dislodgement hoped. Suspension effect uncertain. Crew injury unlikely. Psychological effect ignored. User casualty probability high. Blast proximity fatal. Shockwave exposure severe. Protective gear non-existent. Helmet ineffective. Body armor unavailable. Doctrine unchanged. Procurement continued. Manufacturing quotas assigned. Multiple subcontractors involved. Component sourcing fragmented. Explosive plants overloaded. Fill rate slowed. Inspection bypassed. Delivery accelerated. Rail shipment prioritized. Labeling inconsistent. Depot confusion common. Misidentification frequent. Storage officers complained. Local commands uncertain. Usage reports scarce. Combat deployment limited. Training accidents occurred. Minor injuries reported. Serious injuries suppressed. Medical logs incomplete. Coroner involvement avoided. Weapon reputation poor. Troop confidence minimal. Alternative weapons requested. Sticky bomb comparison unfavorable. Similar adhesive issues shared. Both programs concurrent. Design lessons ignored. Bureaucratic inertia dominant. Cancellation delayed. Replacement studies initiated. Shape charge research ongoing. Monroe effect understood, application immature. Later weapons benefited. 73 obsolete quickly, withdrawals informal, stocks retained briefly, disposal methods uncertain. Explosive recovery attempted, casing scrapped, documentation sparse, post-war evaluation limited, archival files thin, surviving examples rare, museum handling restricted, demonstration prohibited, chemical instability persists, engineering assessment negative, user interface unacceptable, safety margins non-existent, operational value marginal, program classified minor, historical footnote status, design desperation evident, industrial panic reflected, strategic fear influence strong, invasion expectation central, time pressure overriding, rational review absent, testing incomplete, feedback ignored, weapon fielded regardless, post-issue reviews commenced, Ordnance Board notified, minutes recorded formally. Concerns documented quietly, risk language softened, probability tables absent, quantitative models missing, assumptions verbal only, engineering authority fragmented, design ownership unclear, responsibility diffused, decision chains elongated, approval stamps multiplied, revisions discouraged, schedule pressure constant, alternative concepts sidelined, competing proposals archived, explosive engineers reassigned, priority shifted repeatedly, factory tooling unchanged, casing dies reused, tolerance drift increased, wall thickness variable, mass distribution uneven, center balance inconsistent, grip orientation uncertain, user alignment unpredictable, placement accuracy reduced, handling ergonomics ignored, human factors absent, grip texture omitted, surface knurling rejected, cost savings cited, time savings prioritized, safety trade-offs accepted, explosive chemistry re-evaluated, bind-year ratios adjusted, viscosity charts produced, field equivalents unknown, laboratory conditions idealized, contaminant exposure untested, rain exposure ignored, oil contamination likely, grease interference certain, armour cleanliness unrealistic, combat surfaces unsuitable, adhesive premise flawed, contact physics misunderstood, dynamic impact overlooked, shear forces dominant, bond failure immediate, gravity effects decisive, vibration detachment common, track movement disruptive, engine heat destabilizing, exhaust residue interference, paint formulations incompatible, German coatings varied, intelligence data limited, enemy material unknown, assumptions generalized, design margins narrow, tolerance stacking severe, performance envelope tiny, user instruction simplified, and training time minimal, drill periods short, demonstrators inexperienced, instructors underprepared, printed manuals delayed, illustrations inaccurate, scale representation flawed, distances misleading, silhouette outlines incorrect, armor thickness misquoted, weak points misidentified, tactical advice optimistic, cover expectations unrealistic, movement speed ignored, tank awareness underestimated, crew reaction absent, machine gun threat omitted, acoustic detection ignored, approach feasibility overstated, night use assumed, lighting tools unavailable, noise discipline impractical, weather effects neglected, glove usage incompatible, bare hand contact risky, chemical skin exposure possible, dermal irritation reported, protective creams absent, medical guidance unavailable, long-term effects unknown, incident reports minimal, a near miss is untracked, loss accounting incomplete, ammunition returns mismatched, inventory accuracy poor, serial numbering inconsistent, batch tracing impossible, fault isolation unachievable, corrective action stalled, inspection standards vague, acceptance thresholds undefined, reject rates, arbitrary, supervisor discretion dominant, production variance tolerated, explosive density fluctuated, filling pressure inconsistent, air pockets frequent, void migration observed, storage settling problematic, phase separation occurred, temperature cycling worsened, leak seals unreliable, cap interfaces weak, thread engagement shallow, gasket materials scarce, substitutes introduced, rubber quality degraded, natural rubber rationed, synthetic rubber immature, aging accelerated, cracking documented, seal failure increased, odor alerts common. Ventilation inadequate, factory safety incidents logged, minor explosions occurred, reports classified low, compensation quietly issued, public disclosure avoided, morale concern cited, program reputation sensitive, press mention suppressed, Parliament oversight minimal, questions deferred, responses generalized, performance claims inflated, success anecdotes highlighted, failure data omitted, statistics selectively presented, command acceptance reluctant, field commanders skeptical, feedback channels clogged, reports delayed weeks, urgent memos unanswered, operational tempo unchanged, invasion threat narrative sustained, fear justification persistent, replacement urgency denied, interim solution label applied, interim duration extended, months passed, strategic situation shifted, air threat reduced, naval posture improved, an invasion likelihood declined, weapon relevance questioned, stockpiles remained, disposal planning initiated, explosive reclamation studied, chemical recovery inefficient, neutralization methods risky, burn pits unsuitable, detonation unsafe, sea dumping considered, environmental rules absent, record keeping minimal, final counts uncertain, many units lost. Some retained training, demonstration usage curtailed, accidental activation feared, transport restrictions imposed, vehicle carriage banned, personal carriage discouraged, issue scales reduced, distribution halted quietly, formal cancellation avoided, paperwork unresolved, files marked inactive, lessons unofficial, engineering staff reassigned, future projects influenced indirectly, adhesive weapons reconsidered, contact explosives deprecated, standoff preference emerged, shaped charge adoption accelerated, physics understanding improved, penetration modeling advanced, later systems benefited, historical assessment delayed, post-war reviews brief, comparative studies limited, foreign examples examined, German magnetic mines noted, design contrast evident, magnet reliability superior, British access limited, reverse engineering minimal, time constraints decisive, resource disparity acknowledged, program legacy negative, training syllabi updated, doctrine rewritten, close assault discouraged, infantry protection emphasized, distance prioritized, weapon philosophy shifted, no 73 sidelined, archival photographs rare, technical drawings incomplete, measurement data missing, survivor interviews scarce, operational testimony limited, institutional memory thin, weapon largely forgotten. Engineering cautionary example persists, archival cataloging delayed, file references inconsistent, index numbers duplicated, cross-referencing absent, storage locations unknown, some crates mislabeled, others destroyed prematurely, explosive age instability increased, periodic inspections ordered, inspection manpower insufficient, schedules missed frequently, reporting gaps widened, condition assessment subjective, standard gauges unavailable, measurement repeatability poor, environmental monitoring absent, humidity exposure uncontrolled, corrosion advanced slowly, steel oxidation internal, paint coatings degraded, protective finishes minimal, surface pitting observed, structural integrity weakened, drop resistance reduced, impact sensitivity increased, handling restrictions tightened, movement permits required, authorization chains extended, delays accumulated, operational value diminished, training allocation removed, drill manuals withdrawn, replacement pages issued, old instructions invalidated, confusion persisted, unit sergeants uninformed, stores clerks uncertain, accounting discrepancies continued, ammunition ledgers inaccurate, returns mismatched, losses unexplained, theft unlikely, misplacement probable, command inquiries minimal, priority ranking low, attention redirected elsewhere, new weapons emerging, PIT development advancing, spigot focus resumed, resource diversion complete, 73 orphaned, maintenance guidance absent, repair impossible, field modification prohibited, unauthorized alteration detected, tape usage noted, Improvised grips reported. Command disapproval issued. Safety circular distributed. Language non-specific. Liability minimized. Responsibility transferred downward. User discretion emphasized. Risk acknowledgement implied. Formal acceptance never revoked. Contract closures incomplete. Vendor payments finalized late. Audit trails thin. Cost overruns unclear. Unit price estimates variable. Accounting methods inconsistent. Inflation adjustments ignored. True expenditure unknown. Value assessment impossible. Parliament review unlikely. Classified designation minor. Oversight thresholds unmet. Program quietly buried. Historical review postponed. Lessons absorbed informally. Engineering doctrine evolved separately. Adhesive reliance abandoned. Contact explosives discouraged. Standoff principles adopted. Safety margins mandated. User survivability prioritized later. Design reviews formalized. Testing cycles expanded. Drop tests standardized. Environmental trials required. Temperature chambers introduced. Vibration rigs constructed. Human factors recognized. Grip studies initiated. Ergonomic evaluation added. Training integration emphasized. Feedback loops formalized. Failure documentation improved. Incident reporting compulsory. Statistical tracking mandated. Batch traceability required. Serial control enforced. Material specifications tightened. Supplier audits introduced. Quality assurance elevated. Explosive handling revised. Packaging standards upgraded. Shock absorption added. Labeling clarified. Transport regulations expanded. Storage doctrine rewritten. Segregation enforced. Compatibility testing required. Chemical stability prioritized. Long-term aging studied. Accelerated degradation testing added. Seal technology improved. Synthetic materials matured. Rubber alternatives developed. Gasket reliability increased. Thread standards unified. Torque limits specified. Assembly procedures documented. Worker training expanded. Inspection authority centralized. Rejection thresholds defined. Variance limits enforced. Process control instituted. Statistical sampling adopted. Manufacturing discipline improved. Emergency shortcuts reduced. Desperation engineering constrained. Institutional memory hardened. Earlier failures remembered internally. No 73 cited privately. Example used quietly. Never publicized externally. Museum classification delayed. Public interpretation minimal. Display caution enforced. Handling gloves mandated. Demilitarization partial. Explosive remnants inerted. Residual risk remained. Curatorial access restricted. Documentation gaps persisted. Research difficulty high. Primary sources fragmented. Secondary analysis speculative. Technical certainty limited. Engineering conclusions conservative. Weapon categorized unsuccessful. Operational impact negligible. User exposure extreme. Survivability unacceptable. Design premise invalidated. Adhesion unreliable. Contact doctrine impractical. Manufacture hasty. Testing inadequate. Procurement pressured. Bureaucracy permissive. Fear environment dominant. Rational assessment delayed. Outcome predictable retrospectively, at time unavoidable. Context essential. Invasion expectation overriding. Time compression severe. Information incomplete. Technology immature. Resource scarcity acute. Decision latency intolerable. Risk acceptance elevated. Weapon fielded regardless. Institutional responsibility diffuse. Individual accountability minimal. System failure collective. Engineering compromise total. Historical lesson embedded. Later avoided.